background, so don't worry about that. So this is part of my live stream that I'm doing today, just for an hour to answer some questions you guys might have. But one of the big things that I've seen, at least this week going into last week, et cetera, especially in the 6-week group, is using that food list, that cheat sheet. So like on the cheat sheet, it'll give you, like, let's say, okay, 1 gram of chicken equals 6 ounces of this, or 1 gram of cheese equals, 12 grams of fat, or whatever your ratios might be on the list. The cheat sheet is really great, and it's a great, like, quick guide to go by. But at the end of the day, we really want you to start reading nutrition labels. And now that you've done this for 2 weeks now, and we're on to week 3, learning how to read nutrition labels is really key. So while 1 cup of cottage cheese might have X amount of protein or X amount of fat, ultimately, if you look at the back of every single tub of cottage cheese, like, based on brand, based on how they make it, based on percentage of fat, like, it's going to change. Like, the ingredients are going to change. Same thing with peanut butter. Like, every peanut butter is, like, every brand of peanut butter is made a little bit differently. Cheese, there are some cheese that have a higher fat content. There are some cheese that has a lower fat content. Look at the nutrition label and figure that out for yourself. So, for instance, if you know that, okay, cheese is a fat, well, we don't really have to, like, get creative with that. We just have to look at the fat and then measure that accordingly. What you don't want to get in the habit of doing is going down the cheat sheet and being like, oh, okay, well, this steak has, is a protein, and it has 20 grams of, it's a lean steak and it has 20 grams of protein, so that's what it is, when every steak has a different protein amount. Okay, so really, 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 what I want most people to focus on this week is trying to really learn how to read nutrition labels and starting to get those macros more exact. Because again, as you get more and more comfortable with our nutrition program, learning how to read nutrition labels is something that you're going to have to do long term, right? And the goal of our program is to educate you. It's not to just, have you be baby birds. And the problem with the cheat sheet, it's really awesome for so many things, but it can be misconstrued for people to only focus on that sheet when that's not actual reality. So make sure that when you're looking at the food that you're buying and you're doing your meal prep and you're doing all that stuff, you can use the cheat sheet for a reference, but compare your food and the nutrition label on your food to the cheat sheet. So let's say, like, you're buying something really weird, or not really weird, but let's say you're buying something on the list, but there's like a weird brand or something that you bought, and it might not be the brand that they say, like, on the cheat sheet. Well, that's fine. You could probably still use it. There's a 99.9% chance you can still use it. All you have to do is make sure that you're just counting it correctly, right? So make sure you're doing that and just compare and see how off you really were. And that would be a good challenge for you guys this week, is to really start reading nutrition labels. And if it's chicken, is your chicken on the cheat sheet spot on to the chicken you're buying? Same thing with steak, same thing with peanut butter, same thing with cheese. Every food that you're buying, guys, they're all made a little bit differently based on brand. So the nutrition label is going to change slightly based on that. So really make sure that you're starting to read those nutrition labels. And if you have any questions with it, or you don't really understand how to do it, ask a trainer. All of us will gladly help you determine exactly how to read that nutrition label. But the big thing that you want to do this week is really start weaning yourself off of that cheat sheet only mentality. Like, you need to start reading nutrition labels, because that's really, really, really step one of our program, is teaching you to read nutrition labels, and then not only being able to read a nutrition label, but then interpreting exactly what it means, right? So make sure that you're doing that, because it's super, super important.